Alrighty. Okay, so when I was first starting out in the gym, I would constantly change my workout routines. Constantly. Just trying to. It was almost like a slot machine, right? Like it was almost like gambling, right? Like you pull the lever and you hope and pray that something worked. You hope and pray that you get a jackpot. That's kind of what I was doing. Like I was searching for this secret sauce, this magical, like, I don't know, if I were to touch a different workout, if I were to do a different exercise than the one I was already doing now, I don't know, my biceps would magically blow up or something like that. Like, it didn't correlate to me that it doesn't matter what you do. You just gotta do it consistently, right? Like, I did not understand that. So I was jumping from exercise to exercise to exercise multiple times a week. Multiple times a week. Like, some people, they change their routine maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes that's what I've heard. I was doing it multiple times a week. That's awful. That's awful. Now, if you did the same thing, or if you're doing that right now, I want to help you out. I want to help you get over that. I want to help you change that. So what I learned was that it's not necessarily the exercise, it's just the consistency of the exercise. So what I did was I found exercises that I liked and that felt, good and really, really made me feel happy with what I got going on. And once I locked in those exercises, the gym became so much more streamlined because I would walk into the gym and I would go right to what I had to do. I knew exactly what I was doing that day because it was the same thing from last time, right? So I wasn't wasting as much time in the gym just hump-a-pum, wandering around, looking for stuff, looking for machines, random machines that are open. Now, granted, there have been times where I've had to swap out an exercise for a similar one because someone's on the machine, right? So there's this machine at my gym. It's a dip machine, and they have a kneeling pad. So if you can't do body weight dips, it's okay. You can kneel on the pad, and it kind of helps boost you up a little bit, right? Somebody was on that, I think it was like last week. Somebody was on that, so I moved over to the other machine that you kind of sit down and you push down with. It's a very similar dip machine. Anyway, that happens sometimes. That's not really changing your workout. That's kind of like a one-time thing. That's like, oh, someone's on the machine that you're using, gotta find someone else, no problem. But I made so much progress this way. I genuinely did, because I wasn't focused on a whole new exercise. I wasn't focused on so many different things. I could perfect the form in the exercise that I was doing, and I could perfect the exercise itself. And that I made progress within the exercise. And then once I liked the movement and I knew how to do it, then it was kind of just smooth sailing from there. And the reason why once figuring out how to do the exercise, is your body doesn't understand the difference between that workout and that exercise and another one. Like, if you were doing seated cable rows, right? And then you jump to bent over rows. Your body's not gonna know that you're like, oh, he switched from seated cable rows to bent over barbell rows. Like, your body's not gonna know that. It just responds to the weight that you are pulling. So that's where progressive overload comes into play. So now, what is progressive overload? Because this is the key to keeping the same exercises is progressive overload. If you were at the same weight and did the same exercises, your body wouldn't grow, right? Because it's used to everything that you've been doing, and it has sufficient muscle to be able to lift whatever weight you're trying to lift. So let's just say that you're doing hammer curls, cable hammer curls, excuse me. You sat there doing the cable hammer curls. You're curling, you're doing your thing, you're not struggling at all, and then you just put the weight down. Your body expects that. Your body's like, oh, we've lifted this before, this is easy. We don't need to strain, we don't need to stress, this is fine. But if you bump it up to 75, your body's like, whoa, wait a sec, wait a minute. We haven't lifted this before, hold on, we gotta adapt, we gotta get bigger. And that's how muscles grow, is your body responds to the weight that you are lifting, and your muscles get bigger. And now, obviously, you have to have the good nutrients and tie everything else together. But that is the how do I want to say this? That's the literal physical thing that you can do to tear your muscle and make it bigger, right? Is you are lifting bigger weight. So how do we implement progressive overload? How do we do this? How do we kind of add it into our workouts? So I personally use my notes app and I write down the exercise. So it's a note app, or it's a note section or block or whatever you want to call it. It's called workouts. So I have it titled workouts, and then in the thing I have I'll use my leg day for example. I do squats, and then my weight for reps is I do 235. So 235 pounds at 3 sets for 10 to 15 reps. Perfect. Then I do leg extensions at 175 for 10 to 15 reps, 3 sets. And then I can see that weight the next time I go into the gym, and I can be like, okay, I hit this last time. Let me move the chain a little bit. Let me try and bump the weight up to here. And if I can lift that weight, awesome. That's progressive overload. I just progressively overloaded. I tracked the weight, and I put more on, and I pushed myself harder. Awesome. And then just update it week on week. Whenever you hit a new weight, just put the new weight in. Whenever you hit a new weight, put the new weight in. No problem. And when things are getting easy, if you blow past your rep range, if you go out of your rep range, then just up the weight. Just don't change the exercise, obviously. Excuse me. Don't change the exercise. Just keep the same exercise and just keep going up and up and up. Now, the only possible thing that I can think of is when you actually have to change the exercise is when you max out the machine. But to max out any machine, you have to be pretty strong. You have to be pretty developed in a certain area of bodybuilding, of that machine. So we'll say tricep push downs. I think in my gym it's like 120. To be able to tricep push 120 pounds is pretty heavy. That's pretty heavy. So you have to be pretty big and pretty strong to max out a machine like that. So once you max out a machine, no problem. Just move on to another one. All good. Now, this is not going to be an instant fix. It's going to be faster than you would have done if you swapped exercises twice a week. staying with the same exercise consistently is going to yield a lot more gains than constantly changing. But at the same time, it's still going to take months. It's still going to take a very, very, very long time for you to build muscle and to build gains. That's okay. That's the whole point. Anything worth doing takes time, and the gym is absolutely worth doing. It is such a game changer in life. It'll make you more attractive. It will build your confidence up. It'll give you a goal to shoot for. The gym is just all around excellent. It's just amazing. So, with that, I want you to implement this in your next workout. I want you to pick your routines, and I want you to find the exercises that work well for you, that you feel the most stretch and the most squeeze, and they just feel good, right? I want you to pick those. I want you to implement them, and I want you to apply the progressive overload principles that I taught you today. You got this. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You got this.